Hi guys, welcome. Thanks for joining for today's yoga practice, all about creating a little energy to start your day for success. We'll go ahead and begin in a tabletop. So whether you have a mat or you're just on your floor, take a moment to bring your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees, flattening your spine and closing your eyes to take a few deep breaths into your belly. Keeping your eyes closed, let your belly expand and deflate as you breathe deeply. And now beginning to flow into some movement. Inhale, send your gaze upward as you lift your tail for cow. And exhale, pull your belly button back towards your spine as you drop the top of your head towards the ground, bringing your chin to your chest. We'll create a nice steady pace of movement here, going at the flow of your own natural breathing. Each inhale, looking up, lifting your tail as your belly rounds towards the floor. And each exhale, really rolling your shoulders towards the earth as your chin comes all the way into your chest. A couple more here. And now bring your spine back to neutral. We're going to move from side to side. So kind of crunching through the belly. Take your shoulder back towards your hip, moving in opposite directions. Really focusing here on any areas you might feel tight or tense in your body and trying to release it. All right, now coming back to neutral one more time. Make sure your shoulders are back over your hands, your hips over your knees, and then tuck your toes under. Begin releasing your knees from the ground as you send your tail up to the sky for downward dog. So here, again, bringing your hands flat to the ground. You want a little space between each finger. Lift through the tailbone and press into your hands to push your chest and belly back towards your legs. Pause here and take a couple of deep breaths. Again, really using your belly, those big belly breaths. On your next inhale, roll forward. Bring your shoulders over your wrists and your heels over your toes. So see how I'm wiggling out a little bit? You want to make sure that you have your shoulders directly over your hands, heels right over the toes, and your spine in a nice straight line. So you may need to drop your bum down a little bit slightly so that your back is in that perfect plank. And then from here, pushing back to your downward dog should actually be the perfect distance between your hands and feet. So we're going to get used to what that feels like, rolling back and forth here a few times from plank to downward dog, plank to downward dog. As a modification, you could also always drop your knees in the plank. 2 more. And then we're going to give the arms a break here. Start to walk your feet towards your hands. So get your feet as close as you can to your wrists. And then start to roll all the way up, bringing your arms together above your head, standing. Lifting your arms, and exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And then inhale, lift your arms again. Here we're going to float a couple times side to side. So moving first to your left, and then floating to your right. Let your feet be your anchor. So really stick your feet flat to the ground and let your upper body do all the work. Really curving through the spine, opening up through the sides of your ribs and belly. One more to each side. And then back to neutral standing. Here we're going to drop the elbows down to what we call cactus arms or field goal arms, letting your elbows drop, nice flat hands, and then pull the shoulders back. I'm going to turn to the side here so you can see. You're going to pull your elbows and shoulders back towards each other, arching through the spine, really opening up through the front of your chest and heart, lifting your gaze to the sky. Breathe. And on your next exhale, bring your palms to the earth. So reach for the floor, feel the whole back of your legs open. And from here, we're gonna move back into a little bit of flow. So you're gonna inhale, lift your spine, or lift to a nice flat spine, taking your hands, they may be flat on the floor, they may be up here. So kind of feel in your body where you get that nice straight line from your tail to your crown. And then exhale, forward fold again, bring your palms back to the earth. And step back to high plank. So here, stepping both feet back to a nice high plank, again, bringing your shoulders over wrists, heels over toes. And then this time we're gonna exhale, rolling all the way to the belly. Bend your elbows, rolling your belly to the ground. Let your toes and feet rest. Inhale, lift your head and chest for cobra. So here you wanna really keep those elbows tucked in nice and tight to your sides. Gaze lifted, open through the front of the heart and throat. And exhale, drop your chest and belly back down, tuck your toes, and send your hips back to the sky, downward dog. So here you're gonna lift the right leg, sending your right leg to the sky. Really feel that nice opening through your hip and thigh area. And then bring that right foot all the way forward, as close as you can get it to between your hands. And then here you're gonna press your back heel down. So you want that left heel flat on the ground. And inhale, lift your arms. So bringing your arms all the way up. Both hips should be facing the front of your mat. And then open the hips, sending your arms long in each direction. From here, flip that front palm over and reverse your warrior, sending your right hand overhead as your left hand either touches your back thigh or sweeps to the low spine. Keep pressing your right knee towards your toes, opening up further through the right side of your ribs and belly by reaching that arm behind you. From here, we're gonna move into a little flow, bringing your right hand either to the top of your leg, so that's one modification, or to go a little deeper, you could reach that right hand towards the ground, further opening through the chest and shoulders and sending your gaze to the top hand. From here, we're gonna move into a steady flow with our breath. So reverse warrior, sweep your hand overhead, and exhale, side angle pose. Find this nice steady flow, keep that lunge, your knee pointing towards your toes. Keep the depth in your lunge, doing all the work through moving in your core, chest, and shoulders. One more. Reverse warrior. And then straighten that front leg, releasing that right quad for triangle pose, Trikonasana. So opening your arms long again. Send your right hand towards your toes as you also rotate through the hips and belly. And then send your right hand towards the ground as you lift your left arm to the sky. Hinging and softening at your belly. Take a few deep breaths here. Just make sure that top shoulder doesn't tip down towards the floor. You want to keep your shoulders nice and stacked, arms long. And on your next exhale, press that right knee forward again, bringing your arms back to warrior two. And then cartwheeling this left arm to the earth, frame your front foot, and then free your right foot, send it back to three-legged dog, and set that right foot down to switch sides. So from here, you can either stay here in downward dog or take what we call a vinyasa between rounds, between sides, rolling your shoulders back over your wrists to high plank, exhaling to your belly, inhale, cobra, and exhale, downward dog. Here, lift your left leg, so send your left foot to the sky. And then bring that left foot forward between your hands for warrior one, pressing the back heel down, so both feet flat on the ground, and inhale, send your arms to the sky. From here, again, open up into warrior two. I'm gonna flip around on my mat so you can see me a little better. So open up into warrior two here. Flip that front palm over and reverse your warrior, bringing your right hand either to the thigh or low spine as you reach your left hand towards the back of your mat. Really opening through the whole left side of your ribs and belly. Keep pressing your knee towards your toes. And then float a side angle pose here. So again, those modifications are you can bring your elbow to your top of your leg for a little extra support, or reach that left hand all the way towards the ground, really opening through the chest and shoulders here. So now creating a steady flow between reverse warrior and side angle pose. Reverse and side angle. To keep your foundation steady. Last one. And then straighten that front leg. So pressing into both feet, find a little lift up through your hips as you straighten your legs, and open your arms into warrior two, straightening them or lengthening them in each direction. From here, send that left hand towards your toes, shifting your hips and then rotating through the chest and shoulders, reaching your right arm up towards the sky as your left arm lengthens towards the earth. Soften your belly and breathe deeply. Careful not to tip that top shoulder towards the ground. One more breath here. And release. Send that left knee towards your toes again, opening your arms to warrior two. And then cartwheeling this right hand to the earth, frame your front foot. Free your left foot now to three-legged dog. And set it down, downward dog. Take one more vinyasa here at your own pace, inhaling to high plank, exhaling to your belly. Inhale for cobra, and exhale. Here we're going to actually return to a tabletop instead of downward dog. So bringing your hands back under your shoulders, your knees under your hips to complete our practice where we began. Inhale, lift your head and tail. Exhale, pull your belly button back towards your spine. Taking a few deep and energizing breaths here. By breathing deeply, bringing more oxygen and energy into your body to start the day. Exhaling completely to release anything you don't want to bring into the day. Two more. And sit back on your heels. That completes our short energizing morning practice for today. Thanks again for joining, and we'll see you soon.